Good day, everyone. This is Sir Don, and welcome to another learning session for business communication. Today, we're going to discuss writing a memorandum, or mas kilala ninyo ito sa tawag na memo. And let me read to you the learning objectives of today. At the end of the lessons, you will be able to define a memorandum. Ano bang ibig sabihin nito? Saan ba ito ginagamit? And identify the parts of a memorandum so that later on you will be able to write one. Okay? As a review of the lesson, if you would remember, we have discussed face-to-face at the sales letter. So, I want you to pause this video and think for 2 minutes. Ano nga ba ang sales letter? Assuming that you post this video, if you would remember, a sales letter is a form of direct marketing that is designed to attract potential customers. So basically, you market a specific service or you market a specific product, and it should be persuasive and influential in nature para makapag-attract ka ng potential buyers, potential customers, or potential investors to your product or to your service that you are offering. Okay? If you have further questions on these past lesson, I would be very happy to assist you. Just communicate with me on the group chat, messenger group chat. Okay? But now our focus is for memorandum as part of the series of business letters. So ano nga ba yung memo or yung memorandum? Ang memorandum or ang memo ay short piece of writing na ginagamit natin o ginagamit ng isang empleyado o ng isang officer sa isang organisasyon or sa isang company to communicate within the organization. A memorandum is a note to assist the memory. To assist the memory would mean to help you remember, to help you be informed doon sa bagay or doon sa information na kinukommunicate ng isang tao or ng isang official or ng isang officer or ng head sa kanyang mga empleyado. Okay? To aid or to assist the memory. Sa business, ang memorandum o mas kilala nating memo ay isang maikling nakasulat na komunikasyon. So, maikli lang siya na ginagamit sa loob ng isang organisasyon or kumpanya. No? Ito ay isang official document na ginagamit para mabigyan ng impormasyon, pwedeng utos or order, paalala, o anunsyo sa mga empleyado o miyembro ng organisasyon. By using memorandum or memo or memoranda, by using this written communication, the people inside the organization or company will be informed about the things that they have to know, about the announcement, the things that need to be done, the reminders, and all of those things which are relevant in the company or inside the organization that they belong to or we belong to. Unlike other business documents or letters, shorter ito. This is a short piece of writing. Okay? Ano ba ang mga purposes kung bakit tayo nagsusulat ng memo? Okay, number 1 is pwedeng for conveying scheduled message. So, if we want to update our organization or the employee or the people within our organization, we may use memorandum to convey that. Okay? Also, for submitting periodical reports. Ang halimbawa nito, whenever we are submitting monthly sales report, quarterly financial report, or mga accomplishment reports natin, it may serve as a cover note or parang pambungad na document kung saan naka-attach yung ating report. Okay? Another would be for communicating changes in organization. So, for example, ako ay na-promote or merong changes sa leadership. So, pwede nating ipadaan yan gamit yung memo. Okay? And speaking of memorandum, it's not just a written printed text. Kasi mostly from my experience, yung mga memo natin kapag may mga changes sa organization, periodical reports, and scheduling ay pinapadaan sa email. Okay? Next, number 4, for issuing instruction to the staff. Yun nga yung sinasabi natin kanina na kapag tayo ay nagbibigay ng instruction or tayo ay may kailangang i-accomplish, okay, we may use memorandum so that we can write upon the concerning person or dun sa person na involved. Okay? Next, for conforming decision. As what we have said, ginagamit natin yung memo to disseminate information. So, halimbawa, merong isang issue and then the decision has been made, no? So, pwedeng mag-issue ng memo. Next, for asking certain special information. If we would want to request a specific information to the concerning body or to the concerning person or official, pwede natin silang sulatan gamit ang memorandum. Okay? Within the organization. Number 7, for writing suggestions. So if you have further suggestions on the matter, or for example, merong project and you want to suggest something, or kung ikaw naman yung head or ikaw yung executive person and then gusto mong mag-suggest sa mga subordinate mo about the certain project, pwede kang mag-issue ng memorandum para sa kanila. Okay? So, ayun yung mga ilan sa ating mga purposes why we are using memorandum as a written communication within the company or inside an organization. Okay? Going back, let's now talk about the 3 factors to be kept in mind while considering the tone. Okay? Kapag tayo susulat ng memo, kailangan nating tignan itong tatlo na ito. Sino ba yung magbabasa ng memo? Mahalaga yung pag-establish ng tone, ng professional tone, in a way that we are informing that is not condescending, that is na hindi mayabang ang tono, hindi nag-uutos ang tono, but in a way that it is professional. No? Kailangan nating tignan sino ba yung babasa, sino yung makakabasa ng memo. Okay? Number 2, the subject matter of the memo. So, kailangan, nandun yung subject matter, andun yung pinag-uusapan. Ano yung issue, ano yung topic, ano ba yung subject? Bakit ka sumusulat ng memo? Okay? So that the receiving body will know. Tungkol pala ito sa suggestion. Tungkol pala ito sa pagbago ng schedule. Periodical report pala ito. Decision pala ito. Things like that. And also, yung format or yung style ng company. Of course, between companies or for every company, no, iba-iba yung format natin or iba-iba yung tinatawag nating in-house style, such as iba-iba tayo ng header and bawat company meron yan. If you would look at your modules, meron yung logo ng FINMA Education, right? So, depende. So, these are the 3 factors that we have to consider in mind when we consider the tone of the message that we deliver using a memo. Tandaan din natin na since short lang ang memo, wala nang salutation. So, iba talaga siya doon or may pagkakaiba siya doon sa conventional na letters natin in business. So, walang salutation at walang complimentary close when it comes to memo. So, hindi ka na magsasabi ng good day, good morning, truly yours, very truly yours. Okay? The signature is signed either on the from or at the bottom of the memorandum. So, dun nilalagay yung pirma. Next, the memo should be properly dated. So, dapat tama yung date ng pagkakasulat and dapat ito ay sinusulat when in a direct style and should be as brief as possible. Kasi nga, maikli lang yung memorandum. So, mas maging direct tayo hanggang posible. And mas maging specific tayo. Okay? Ano-ano ba yung mga laman ng memo? Number 1, it should have heading. Okay, heading segment. Merong opening segment and yung context ng pinag-uusapan and the task segment. Okay? Para mas maintindihan natin, I have provided here samples. So, makikita ninyo dito yung heading niya or yung heading segment niya. May nakalagay na to and from, subject, date, and series number. Yung series number, ito lang yung dami ng memorandum na nasulat sa taon na yon. For example, if it is Memorandum 001 Series of 2020, so ibig sabihin, nung taon na yon, ito yung unang memo. Okay? So, yun yung count ng memo. Ngayon, unlike sa business letters na formal at conventional, 'di ba? Meron tayo dong inside address, meron tayong return address na ganyan na nakalagay pa yung position, yung name, yung company, yung place, yung date. Okay? Dito, to lang. Okay? To. Para kanino? From. Okay? Sino yung nagpadala ng memo? Or kanino galing? Ano yung subject? Ano yung pinag-uusapan? Kailan yung date? At anong number or ilang memo na? Or pang ilang memo na ito? Another defining feature of a memo is that it is not very formal. Okay? Pero hindi naman sobrang informal that it loses all seriousness. Kumbaga, compared doon sa conventional business letters natin, mas informal siya in nature. Okay, meron din tayong tinatawag na opening segment. Ang purpose ng memo ay usually nakikita dun sa opening paragraph or dun sa opening segment or sa parang pinaka-introduction. So, for example, ako ay nagbigay ng memo sa inyo at galing ito sa akin papunta sa inyo which you are my students for BAM 006. Ang subject natin or ang pinag-uusapan natin ay writing memo. Okay? Now, makikita ninyo sa laman sa unang paragraph, no? Since we are on the topic of memorandum, this is to inform you on how to make a memorandum. So, makita mo doon sa opening statement na tungkol pala ito sa kung paano gumawa ng memo. The memo format is different from that of a letter. Since a memo moves from one department to another or from one employee to another, it is essential to write the name of the person sending the memo and the name of the recipient and the designation or department of both persons. It must also have reference or series numbers. So, yun yung laman ng opening segment. So, ibig sabihin, sa opening segment, alam mo na agad, ang pinag-uusapan pala namin dito na pinadala ng professor ko or ng teacher ko ay kung paano isulat yung memo and kung paano siya medyo naiiba sa conventional business letters. Okay? Next. Another is the context segment. Yung context segment, binibigyan mo ng konteksto or yung event or yung circumstance or binibigyan mo ng background. Yung issue, not necessarily a problem, so depende sa context or yung information na ina-address natin. Okay? Kung babasahin niyo yung context segment, nagbibigay lang yan ng context doon sa kung paano isulat ang memorandum. Like, dapat may heading, may opening, may context segment, and may task segment. So, kung babasahin niyo yung example dito, ganun lang yung sinasabi niya. So, binibigyan niya ng context yung topic or yung subject natin which is writing a memorandum. Okay? Next, the task segment. This section is where you should describe what you are going to do or what does the receiving body needs to do. Okay? To solve the problem or the issue or to take action. So, yun yung segment which is a part of the body of the memo which contains the things that need to be done or the action that needs to be taken. Then after nun, yung signature. In summary, okay, merong opening segment which is ipinapahayag kung bakit isinulat yung memo. Kumbaga, pinaka-background or introduction, yung layunin or yung topic or yung issue. Context segment, nagbibigay ng background or information tungkol doon sa sitwasyon. Binibigyan ng context. The task segment indicates the specific task, action or expectation na kailangang gawin ng receiving body or ng nagbabasa. And those are the essential segments or parts of a memo. So kung makikita ninyo, mas direct, mas specific siya, and mas short siya comparing doon sa ating business letters. Okay? Do you have any questions? If you have questions, clarifications, feel free to message me sa group chat natin. I'll be very happy to assist you. Okay, for now, ito yung gagawin ninyo. Okay, this is a skill building activity. You will write a memorandum katulad lang ng ginawa natin sa example, which reminds all the employees to attend the organization's 35th anniversary. Okay? You will see on the left side the information that you need to craft a memo. And by using the things that you have learned for today, I want you to write one about this topic. I have prepared also a rubric here, and you can see, or please review and read this before you make your memo so that you will be enlightened of the scoring. So the perfect would be 30 points. This is a 30-point activity. Shall you have further questions and clarifications, feel free to message me and I will be very happy to assist you in my best of ability. This has been Sir Don. Today we have discussed writing a memorandum. We've defined memo and also we have identified the parts of a memorandum. Thank you so much.